We perform summarization for internal OSPF routes on area border routers. And when I say internal, I'm talking not external, not your redistributed routes. What's interesting about these is, yes, you do them on the area border routers, but there are a lot of different costs that we could potentially be wrapping all together and including as a single route. What we'll get is the lowest cost. It could go either way theoretically, but it is the lowest cost. I had to choose one. We build a route to null zero. Don't be surprised by this. This says, if I get traffic routed to me because I advertise reachability to this entire space, I have to either route that traffic or drop the traffic. I'll route if it gets to me and I have a more specific route. But if I don't have a more specific route, if I have to use a route with the same mask as what I now generated with my summary, drop the traffic. Here's why. Because we're trying to avoid rerouting traffic back out the same interface that it came in on. The takeaway, don't be surprised if you get routes to null zero in any circumstance where you've built a summary route for EIGRP, OSPF, Border Gateway Protocol. It is a reoccurring theme with any route summarization. If we are going to summarize on an area border router, summarizing type 3 LSAs, what is the command? Where do we go? Well, we go to the area border router, but we do not go to interface level. I want to show you this. Oh, this is so dangerous. If I want to perform route summarization, and I start to think, okay, I want to use context-sensitive help. Just do a question mark, and we'll space do this. And it says configure IP address summary. So then I think, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Well, that is for the autonomous system boundary router summarization. What you really want, I'm going to be summarizing area 123, you want this one. Summarize routes matching address mask, border routers only. I wish they had said area border routers. Okay, but they're telling us that's the command you want. So, in our example here, we do area 1. Now, the area command also is where we do virtual links. The following parameter is where those routes live, where the subnets live. Not what I'm advertising into, it's where they live. Then range, and then we get the prefix that we want to build that will suppress member subnets that are contained within this space. So we've got a really beautiful graphic here. The beautiful graphic shows us the following. Count the number of subnets that you have listed here. I want you to do that. Count the number of subnets. That's our step 1. Count the subnets, which is 12. Find powers of 2 that result in 12. Now, there's no powers of 2 that result in 12, but I could do the following. I could think I want to build a summary that gives me 8 routes plus a summary of 4, which will then summarize. And then the way to build a summary for 8 routes is to peel back 3 bits, which give me 2 to the power of 3 subnets, which is 8 subnets. So this mask that we see here, 248, is 3 bits shorter than the original mask, and therefore would summarize 8 subnets. And so we're summarizing .8 through .15, and then we have 4 left over, so I peel back 2 bits. I summarize for 4 networks. And that's the other summary. So you're just putting in the prefix that you're advertising. And if we do this in our own environment, let's look at a downstream router also. look at a downstream router. Let's say R6. It's pretty separated. If I do show IP route, what I'm going to summarize is area 123. And I can actually really summarize a lot of it. It's going to be a sloppy route, but you can see I've got some /28s. Let you look that over. What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to summarize. I don't need the areas right now, but I am on an area border router. R3 is an ABR. 10.1, 0. 0, and a subnet mask that gives me up to 32, which is 224. And that's going to summarize. You could even think about this as a wildcard mask. Subtract this from all 255s, get the wildcard mask, and it would summarize in the third octet 0 to 31. That's what I'm really trying to do here. And so I'm going to have, if I rerun that show IP route, I have a very interesting mask that is advertising 10.1.0 /19. That looks like a /19 to me. Looking good. And oh, by the way, I just changed some type 3 LSA information, which shows as an OIA. I just changed type 3 information to a different type 3 information. This was a bunch of OIA routes. Now it's just one. Do I get that route to null 0? Certainly do. That is our loop prevention mechanism. So building route summaries for OSPF demands we go to an area border router and we do the area range command.